Hi everybody, Elaine here. Welcome back to Elaine's Gardening and Cooking channel. This morning I've just got a few things that I wanted to discuss with you regarding starting your seeds. Fortunately, it seems we're getting to that time of the season where we may be able to start growing some things. It might be nice. So I've got a bunch of seeds here that I'd just like to kind of go over a few things with any of you who are maybe not familiar with gardening. That just might be a little bit of a help to you in getting started. There are some seeds that you can start in advance in your house or in a greenhouse, and there are a few things that they say you shouldn't. Now, according to the package directions on these hybrid Chinese cabbage, I don't know how well you see that packet. There you go. That looks better. According to this packet, it says that you shouldn't be starting these early in the season to try to grow transplants, at any time of the year, that you should direct sow. Otherwise, they won't grow well for you. So that's just a little heads up on that. And actually, they say that you should plant no earlier than July 7th. So that being the case, then these would be grown for your fall garden. Okay, so don't try planting this in the spring and thinking that it's going to come through for you, because you'll be in for a disappointment, unfortunately. Now, there's another packet here I've got of what they call tumbler tomatoes. And they're like the Tom Thumb tomatoes, but apparently these are quite sweet. And you can start these early indoors, and you can also start them for your fall garden if you're going to protect them in the fall to let them finish off. And apparently they're early early production, 48 days, it says on the packet there. Okay, and here's another one. This is the early Russian sunflower. This was from BZ Seeds. Hope you can see that okay. And it says that you should plant these, right after danger of frost has passed. And, oh gosh, and it'll take up to 10 to 14 days for these to germinate, and you've got to keep them moist all the time. One thing that I have found with sunflowers that helps, if you soak them in water, soak your seeds in water the night before you plan on sowing them, it will help them become along faster. They'll germinate faster for you in about half the time. So you might want to keep that in mind. Kohlrabi. This is another very interesting vegetable to grow. I love it. It grows about, about that big around. They're not huge, but they're very tasty, really tasty. And of course the leaves are edible as well. In flavor, I find they're in between cabbage and turnip. But the leaves are certainly edible raw or cooked. I think they're really better cooked. Simple reason being raw, they tend to be a little bit tough if you want to eat them raw. But the kohlrabi itself, it just cuts. You can cook it like a turnip. You can French fry it. It's very good French fried. It's beautiful. Just boiled with a cheese sauce. Try it sometime. I think you'll be a permanent fan of that particular vegetable. Now, leeks. Okay, you can start these from seed. They transplant fine. There's no problem. Only thing is, these things are a little bit longer. They take a good 100 days to mature. So if you want to start them for this year's garden, well, you should be starting them indoors or under plastic, whatever. Starting them now, and this is what, the 14th of February. Oh yes, it's Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day to everybody. But leeks, yes, you can certainly start them off in advance. You can also start them midsummer for part of your fall garden, because these I find too, I've been growing leeks for years, and I find that they will winter over and they'll just keep coming up every spring if you don't pick them. While you don't get actual big leek stalks, you will get the leek greens, and you can use those in an awful lot of dishes as well. So give that a try and see what you think. Now you can, in the stores, of course, you can buy them already started and transplant those come this spring if you don't get a chance to start them off yourself indoors. This is another one. This is, they call this sunberry. Apparently they are just pretty well exactly like huckleberries. Huckleberries are very easy to grow. They're quick growers. The berries are delicious. And these you can use in place of blueberries if you don't have them. They're quite nutritious and very, very good. Now you can plant these direct sowing. And if I remember correctly, I believe you have to wait until danger of frost has passed. Don't mind me. You can start them indoors 6 to 8 weeks before the last frost. So yes, if you're going to plant them outside directly, make sure you plant them in a warm place. Keep them well watered. They'll grow quickly. Once they start growing in the greenhouse, you can easily transplant them into the garden. Shouldn't be any problem with that. Snow peas. These are good. They're edible potted. This is the whole Landau variety, the Chinese variety. They're pretty quick growing. You can plant those as soon as the ground is workable. You don't have to wait until the last frost. And they take about 60 days to reach maturity. Certainly you could pick them a little bit sooner if they start developing, but usually to maturity date they're about 60 days. And they're quite nice. And this is another one. You'd be wise to soak your seed if you want them to come up faster. Okay. We also have beans. Oh, we've got some here from last year's garden. And anyway, what the heck's going on there? Excuse me. The other computer kicked on with video, and now I've got to cut it off. Look forward to seeing you again. I hope you enjoyed our videos. Subscribe if you did like our videos. Don't forget to give us a like and leave a comment if you see anything later on videos. Well, so much for that. That was a surprise. Sorry about that, everybody. Hey, it happens. Anyway, these are beans that I saved from last year. And there's a mix in there of the wax beans and the green beans. Doesn't matter to me. I plant them all, both kinds. And I also plant the Royal Burgundy. These are the ones I was telling you about the other day. They grow purple. The pods are purple. When you cook them, they turn green. So if you're blanching, that's an excellent idea. If you want to grow purple podded, that will give you an idea when to take them off the stove, because when they blanch, they turn green. This is another thing as well. Your beans, you're wise if you soak those first and then put them in your garden. They will germinate much faster for you. And your pepper squash. That's another thing that you might want to soak them in advance before you plant them. You shouldn't really need to, but sometimes it will help to bring them along faster. So they are pretty fast developers once they start. Now, in case you're wondering what this stuff is, excuse me, all this is landscaping fabric. And I have found it works wonders if on a really hot summer day, you find your plants are suffering. Well, then all you got to do is just shade with this. Just put this over your greenhouse area. Just cover the plants with it, even put some sticks in the ground and put this on top. As long as it's not windy, it should stay there for you, and it cuts down a good 90–95% of the sun. If you find that they're starting to wilt on you a little early, on a really hot day, rather than take the chance and water them, because you really shouldn't be watering them in broad sunlight. It will damage your leaves and it will stunt the growth. So this thing really works well, this material. And although it is advertised by some as being biodegradable, I don't find that it is. So anyway, you can pick that up at any nursery usually will carry it. I believe I bought this at Canadian Tire. So any one of those places you could pick that up very easily, and it really does the trick for you. Now, if it is a bit windy, certainly anchor that down while you need to keep your plants shaded. Other than that, seems to be pretty hardy stuff. This has lasted for years. I bought a roll of this several years ago, and I still have most of it left. I haven't used a heck of a lot. Okay, we have peppers. You don't really need to put those in water. They will come up pretty quickly on their own as long as you keep the soil moist. And I have cantaloupe. Cantaloupe seeds, actually, you don't need to soak those in advance. You can if you want to, but they are pretty fast growers. However, they should be started earlier indoors, a good 6 to 8 weeks before you transplant them out. And they love heat, and they love direct sun. However, this is one I find that you sometimes do have to shade, as well as cucumbers. Hot and sticky, and you notice that the plants are they're drooping. Cover it with this nice black landscaping material, and it will help. Okay, that's it for today. It was another brief show. Sorry for the interruption there, but hey, that happens. So, everybody, you have a great day, and hopefully we'll be able to get outside for some videos soon. Okay, take care. In the meantime, happy gardening. Bye.